This is just a quick video running through problem number 17 on the review sheet because I realized that it's different than the one that we already went through. So, we have the statement, if it rains or snows, then I read. It's not raining nor snowing, therefore I'm not reading. So we see right away that P, Q, and R are it rains, it snows, and I read. So let's try to turn this into symbolic logic. We have an if-then statement. We have if something happens, then I read. So we know we're going to have then I read. And the if part is it rains or snows. So let's throw it rains or snows. P or Q. And there's our whole first sentence. If it rains or snows, then I read. And then we have and it's not raining nor snowing. So it's not raining. And it's not snowing. And then we have another therefore. I am not reading. So this is our statement written in symbolic logic. Let me drag it down a little bit. And remember, our answer is that this statement is valid if and only if we end up with a tautology at the end. If and only if, when we write this all out in a truth table, we end up with a series of T's. So let's start with P or Q. So a series of T's would mean that in every situation this statement is true. We've checked all 8 possible situations and the statement would be true. So P or Q, we look at the P and the Q column, and an or statement is true as long as one, the other, or both simple statements are true. Or you could say it's only false if you have 2 falses. So we have true, true, which is true, 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 which is true, true, false, which is true, true, false, which is true, false, true is true, false, true is true, and then 2 sets of false, false is going to give me false, false. Now, I will switch my color and continue. We did P or Q. Let's expand to implying R. So we see here that our arrow's pointed that way because we have this piece implying this piece, conditioned on that piece. So we have a conditional statement, which we know a conditional statement is only false if we have specifically something like this, true implying false. So we know that one's going to be false, but true implies true is true, true implies true is true. We see true implies false again, so we get a false there. True implies true is true. True implies false, once again, is a false. False implies true. Anytime you start a conditional statement with a false, it's going to default to true. Because remember, if you don't keep your end of the promise, the other person doesn't owe you anything. That's how I remember it. Continuing, we now do and not P. Remember, we need not P. I like to write this out explicitly instead of trying to think through switching P in my head. So we now have this column and this column, and we're going to be looking at the and statement between them. But first we need not P. P is 4 T's, then 4 F's. So our not P is going to be 4 F's, then 4 T's. And so our, let's write it as and not P, is going to be the and statement between the 2 yellow columns. And that statement is only true if we have 2 trues. So here we have a true and a false, which is going to be false. False and false is false, false, false. Right here we have 2 trues, so we officially have a T. Another false, and then 2 more T's. Now we need and not Q. So we're going to need not Q. The opposite of Q. Q is oscillating between 2 T's, 2 F's, 2 T's. So let's start with 2 F's. F, F, T, T, F, F, T, T. And so our new question is and not Q. So it's going to be the and between this column and this column. which once again is only true if we have two t's, if we have true, true. So I see falses, 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 falses there, and the bottom two I have true, true. Okay, we're almost there. Next, the last piece we have is implying. I think I have to reuse a color. Maybe I'll use this orangey red. We have implying not R, so I need not R. And not R is the opposite of R. R is T, F, T, F, so we're going to start with an F and go F, T, F, T, F, T, F, T. And we have, do the last piece in white, implies not R. So we have this column implying this column. And let's see what we have. We have a whole bunch of F's, so it looks like we're going to be right. It looks like we're going to be correct. It looks like it's going to be a valid statement, a tautology. Because remember, any time a conditional statement starts with a false, defaults to true. True, 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 true. We get so close, and then we have a T implies an F. That's going to be a false, and then we get a true. So we were so close to a tautology, but we do end up with one false. And when is that? So what that's telling us, if I come all the way over, if I cut all the way across to right here, that tells us that in this case, our statement is not true. So if we have P is false and Q is false, so it's not raining, nor snowing. What this is telling us is that it could be true that you're still reading. You are reading. So let's read the statements again. If it rains or snows, then I read. It's not raining nor snowing, therefore I'm not reading. So what this is telling us is it's very possible, given the statement, that it's not raining, nor is it snowing, but even though it's not raining nor snowing, you could still be reading. This statement doesn't say that you never read when it's not raining or snowing. It just says that you do read when it rains or snows. And so that is where this statement breaks down. That's why we don't have a tautology. And that is number 17 from our review sheet.